Hey, everybody, and welcome to the Fantasy Fullback Dive, brought to you by the good people at the Roto Street Journal, paving your way to fantasy glory, fantasy championships, fantasy excellence, acting as your lead blocker to fantasy glory. Like I said, making all your football-related fantasies come true. And we're in the playoffs, folks. And a lot of you might say, well, that means fantasy's over, but that is not the case. As a matter of fact, if you Google, I heard a rumor that if you put in 2023 fantasy rankings, your guys here might just happen to be the first thing that shows up. I can tell you personally that if you put in fantasy rankings 2023, we're like the fifth thing that shows up on Google. Not too shabby. Just a little bit of blowing smoke up our own asses. Hope you don't mind. I haven't been on in a while, so I got a lot to say. My name is Nat the Truth Jones. With me as always, or not as much recently, but back again, the Wolf of Roto Street himself, who has had his he's been grinding away. Ever since the last time you saw me, he's probably done like 12 of these. How you doing, Wolf?
12 is an understatement, Truth.
How many of these have you done?
I've probably done 40 to 50 at this point. and so we'll talk about this, but you know how addicted I am. The fantasy season ends, and I got to keep going. I have no off switch. I got to do it. And folks, if you're like me out there and you're tuned in, you probably are already on Underdog, but if not, and you like fantasy football, you want to have some fantasy football action in your playoffs, you got to check out Underdog Fantasy. Yeah. This is the site right here. The app is even cleaner, even better. So you got to do it. It's essentially best ball. You guys probably know what it is, but computer will automatically calculate. You'll draft in the playoffs a 10-person team, and then your starting five will be one quarterback, one running back, two receivers, one flex. So the best five will be automatically calculated for you, assuming for as long as your players last. So that obviously we'll get into some strategy and those different things, but there's 4 rounds. So each round you can advance or each round you can get eliminated, which also brings some strategy. Chiefs are great, but you got to get through the bye week too. So tons of strategy to discuss as we load up a draft, and we'll get into all these different tips. But I just wanted to make sure right from the get, if you have not played on Underdog, you need to check it out. And if you want to support your boys, use code RSJ when you down it, or hit the description, the link in the description. We'll bring you right there, and you can get up to $100 match. That's 4 free gauntlets. That's 20 free mittens.
20 free mittens.
$100. Get it all matched and fire up some drafts, folks, because I do love the regular best ball that, but something about the playoff best ball, I've had the most success with. Last year, I won over $1,000 doing it. I finished, in the top 20 of the mitten last year, which ended up netting me $500 on that tournament. I made 5 others out of my 20 teams drafted. So that's why I've been going so crazy. I've had some good success. I like it. And I just, something about it. I just love this time of year. The stakes couldn't be higher on the real field. So add some extra stakes off the field, just get the rush. So
I admit, I'm the same way. I kind of get off on the fantasy playoff stuff too. I admit it. So
it's so much.
I'm really looking forward to doing this. I've actually done a little research. I feel relatively prepared.
Yes.
It's what's super, super important. You have some tips that you're gonna go through. You got some strategies and stuff. One of the things we were talking about is, and it sounds like a no-brainer, it's like you got to know the matchups. You got to know who you're playing. Yes. And one of the things that I was talking to you about beforehand is like there are 2, maybe 3 playoff games that I'm pretty much 100% sure on. And so obviously, like if you're taking the downside in those games, you're getting one game out of those guys. Doesn't mean you can't touch them. I mean, there's some exciting guys, Tyreek Hill, stuff like that on the Dolphins. I'm positive they're not beating the Bills. But he's got some major upside, right?
Yes.
I mean, for 1 week.
Exactly. And this we already into the draft and is immediately filled. That's how these things go. You're gonna have no wait time at this point. So let me rip through as we wait for the draft. And you're alluding to a bunch of my tips. I kind of typed out 3 really quick ones, and then if you see it, if we're on the clock, let me know. We'll make our pick. But number 1 is you have to stack. You only want players from about 2 to 3 total teams. You have 10 total players. You probably want 4 from one NFC contender, 4 from one AFC, and then maybe 1 to 2 that can smash you up into the next one, to the next round. So you definitely want to stack 1 or 2 teams because you want to be the final 2 Super Bowl teams there. Because what we're playing here, we're going for the championship. We're going for the $200K. And to do that, you need to have multiple players in the Super Bowl. So you load up the 2 teams you think have the best shot, or really what falls to you in your draft spot too. Sometimes you have to be fluid with it.
We are on the clock.
And we're on the clock.
Allen, McCaffrey, Chase.
And so we have the access of Mahomes at 2. And I feel like we can't turn that down despite the bye week. I love Mahomes. I love Jalen Hurts here.
We have to take him. We have to take him.
We have to take Mahomes. And speaking of that, so you want to pick the teams you think are going to go the furthest, as we talk about. For me, my Super Bowl is Chiefs-Niners. I know I'm not alone in that thinking, but that means if I can somehow get a Chiefs-based team and a Niners-based team, I'm going full board after it. So I already got Mahomes. Obviously, on the way back, I'd love to get Kelsey, Jerick McKinnon in the next round, Juju the next round. I know that will leave us susceptible because you have to make sure, tip 3, I'm jumping the tip here, is you have to advance. And that's the tricky part here, is if you don't advance, it doesn't matter at all. So we can't draft all bye week players and just have a completely dead in the water team. So we'll then have to pair them up with teams that are going to be active in week 1, that have some big, heavy playmakers. We'll go into some of my favorite NFC targets on the other side, maybe some late guys. But just keep rankings fluid is the other thing. So now that I have Chiefs, all other Chiefs get elevated. Jerick McKinnon goes from my running back 3 to my running back 1, essentially, at this point. And obviously now I got to bump down any opponents. Now we don't know their round 1 opponent because they're not playing in round 1. Alrighty, so we are on the clock.
I like
Kelsey's there. We got to go Kelsey.
We got to go Kelsey. We got to go Kelsey.
The only other option could have been Debo going for the 49ers, other side of things, get an active week 1 player. But I feel like Mahomes and Kelsey's just too damn good.
We might end up doing more than one of these.
We will.
I agree. I agree with your philosophy. And so since we already went with Mahomes, going Kelsey makes tons and tons of sense. I will tell you, I agree with you on the Niners in the NFC. Okay. They're my pick to come out of the NFC as well. But I kind of like the Bengals coming out of the AFC. I'm not going to lie to you. So maybe another draft. Maybe we go, Burrow, Higgins, something like that.
And you could see Chase went 3. I often take Chase at 4, and then you hope to get Burrow, just as this guy did, Justin L, on the way back. Because once you get the benefit of 4 games, just like they did last year, that's a nice thing that you don't have to worry about finding these bridges, these bye week gaps. You don't have that balancing act going on. You already have these guys. Look at that. Jamar Chase, Joe Burrow.
Let's look at the board. Yeah. Who's on the board?
So we got Eckler. There's a nice bridge. We got McKinnon also right there. Devonta Smith. We could go after. I know another bye week though, which is tricky, but that could be our NFC team. Where do you lean, Truth?
I think the Eagles are probably going to it's tough to.
We got to go. It's 6 seconds.
Devontae.
All right. Devonta Smith it is. So again, we're going to have a lot of bye week that we'll have to compensate for. But man, if we get a Eagles Chiefs Super Bowl, could be beautiful.
We do need to get through it. But man, I really like those players we got.
That's an absolute steal for Devonta. And honestly, if McKinnon makes his way back to us, it's going to be tough to pass him up.
Well, but it's also going to be tough to have your 4 guys off the board that none of them are playing in the first week.
I know. That's also very true. But you got to stack the teams up. And like I said, there's definitely a few, the Chargers being one of them. We were just hinting at Eckler, who I'm not opposed to right here, but I also do like getting our guy McKinnon. But Eckler could be a way to kind of guarantee we get some points at the running back.
We need production. I would probably go Eckler over McKinnon because we don't have anything going on. Although he's there. He's on the McKinnon's there.
I feel like we go McKinnon.
We might as well go. We gotta get some points somehow because we got 4 guys off the board now. But okay,
and that's all our draft now becomes is if this is our Super Bowl and you have 4 to 6 players live in the Super Bowl. Let's say we get a Chiefs Eagles Super Bowl and somehow we get to advance there. 4 to 5 studs. I'm going to call Jerick McKinnon. He's a stud right now. He's got a 7-8 touchdown game. So this is a team that would be live to win $200K if we can make it there. Now our goal now becomes making it there. Maybe we can add another Chief at some point. Maybe we can add, Juju might fall to us. Maybe we can, scoop up another Eagle, Dallas Goedert, something of that nature. But ultimately, we do need to get now the bridges that are going to push us forward, propel us forward the rest of the way. But man, this is a great start. Like this is what you want.
I know. I'm getting
even
pumped.
Though round 1 is going to be tough to advance out of. We get the right players. Maybe it's Mike Evans. So I'll talk about some of the guys in a little bit who I do like if I'm starting like this. Guys going late. I love the Buck stacks, for example. Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, Brady, Fournette. Like, what if the Bucks just go off on the Cowboys as they always do? They whoop their ass every time they play. So that's often how I like to go on these things. But yeah, so you guys can again see the board here. And if you're listening to the podcast, I'll just kind of summarize the first picks. Josh Allen, McCaffrey. Josh always goes first. You had the
All right,
Bills.
We're on the clock. Show us who's available.
So Singletary, no. I'm going to pass on Juju and even Goddard because we do need some sure production.
We need players.
I like Saquon.
What about Saquon?
Yes, because I wouldn't be shocked at all if they upset the Vikings. And either way, nice matchup right off the bat for Saquon. Daniel Jones becomes a late QB. We could just take facing the Vikings. He had 26 points last time out there. There's a chance he's the highest scored quarterback of this week, and he doesn't get drafted in a ton of these. So he could be our bridge to Mahomes.
Giants are a very sexy pick. Almost maybe even a little too sexy, but I mean, like
to upset the Vikings, you mean?
Oh yeah. I guarantee you, almost all the money that's coming in is probably on betting that is probably coming in on the Giants. And so I mean, I don't know. Maybe we stack up a couple of these Giants.
I do like just to look at what some other teams are doing. We could definitely stack up. I like Richie James in the last round. Isaiah Hodgins. That's the tricky part of the Giants is like the weapons are so ugly.
I know.
You don't know who it's going to be, but they've been like Richie James has been a monster these last few weeks. So maybe it's him. And him and Daniel Jones are our last two. We'll see. But you look here, Jalen Hurts, like this. I love this draft. You got Eagles stacked up with Jalen Hurts. Like that. I've had a couple combos reversed of that where I have like Josh Allen with AJ Brown and Devonta Smith. But that's a great one. You get the mix of like immediate usability in your Bills explosive.
Yeah, I like the Bills a lot for that.
I mean, Diggs at 8 is a steal. He's number 5 on my overall big board. I think that's an absolute steal.
We're on the board. Who's
all righty? Yeah. So you see how fast these go. Huh? It's like tough to have any type of downtime. I mean, Juju is the play, but I bet you he swings around. And again, we need some usability here.
Yeah. I wish I knew if Mike Williams was playing.
I know that'd make a huge difference because we could just toss him in. I'm going to say we just go Juju though, lock him up.
We might as well commit to the bit here. I mean,
we have. I mean, so now we'll have if we get, even just the Chiefs in the Super Bowl, we already have 4 players. So again, we have to lug this team now, but that's going to go a significant way. You look at the last 2 winners of these things. The team had stacked Rams and Bengals last year. Year before that, Bucks and Chiefs. The Chiefs had a bye. The Bucks kind of carried them through. So, these are the types of things. Honestly, truth, like I was saying, I don't mind a Buck stack. What is your thought on Brady? And we don't have to do them right now, but like a Brady-led offense here.
Yeah.
He did.
Yeah, he did. I would lean
Tony.
here.
I mean, we're getting almost too happy at that point, but
yeah. Then we're getting we can't do that. We need points. Tyreek is interesting.
Tyreek's very interesting. I think he'll make it back to us. Maybe okay. Tony. How many players do we have?
We got 8 seconds. So you want to grab?
I'm going to go
grab
Tony.
him. Oh no way! All right,
I am.
All right, you're sick.
But now we're just committed to Chiefs. And Chiefs
completely.
Chiefs,
we are completely committed to Chiefs. We could not be more committed to Chiefs to the point where we literally might not even be able to fill a team.
I know. And that's the toughest part about, and we'll draft again, but going like Devonta Smith, it's like, you almost want to stack one of your teams where they're playing right away. Because that created us in a little tight bind. Like we couldn't.
Well, who was our option when we took Devonta Smith? I don't remember.
Austin Eckler would have been kind of nice.
No, we passed. No, you took. I took
McKinnon over
Eckler.
Yeah, I mean none of these guys obviously mixing in them, but then you're dipping into the AFC again. So all right, we're back. So we just need the highest upside.
Who's on the board?
Tyreek did go. Damn. There's not a lot.
You taking Tom Brady?
No. I don't think Evans is here either. Not Evans. Whoever went after them. So maybe we go after a Jag stack.
You got 6 seconds.
Alrighty. I think I'm going to go after a Jag stack.
Okay.
I hate it, but.
I mean, I like the Jags receivers.
I do too. And like Etienne, maybe I should have gone Etienne. I hope he falls back to us.
Calvin Ridley on that Jags team next year is interesting, assuming he's not like a gambling machine. He is. I mean, I'm becoming a believer. I never believed the hype was quite where I thought it was too much coming out of college, but I have really liked what I've seen lately.
Yeah. Me too. No, I thought after his first year it could be lost, but it clearly was an Urban Meyer issue. And now you have Calvin Ridley added to. I think he's going to be kind of like the next Jalen Hurts. Gets that. Calvin Ridley's a true alpha. So I talked about that on the 2023 ranking show. You guys should go check out. I mean, these go so fast.
I listened to that show, by the way. I'm the one who posted that, and I listened to it, the whole thing twice, and I thought it was excellent, by the way.
Oh, nice. Good. Thank you. So as you guys can see here, we've gone hardcore Chiefs, which we're all going to have to lug ourselves there.
Yeah, I mean, all right, who's on the board?
So ETN.
Don't even. I was worried you were going to say like Pacheco or something.
No, we
you
can't.
can't do that, Wolf.
No.
Yeah, Etienne's a good play. Like, I mean, this is
exactly
what we need.
And then we do need our backup quarterback. So we're going to go for Trevor Lawrence here. The only issue,
is Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, he's
the dumb thing about this team is there's a very, very good chance they're facing the Chiefs next. So this wasn't our smartest team. We'll definitely have to draft another one after this.
No one's ever accused us of being the smartest guys.
No, but there's a very, very low chance that the Ravens win. And so there's no way the Dolphins win. So the Chiefs are definitely going to be facing probably the winner of the Chargers versus the Jags. So we just set ourselves up to face ourselves and cannibalize our team. So this ultimately was not the smartest.
Well, we set ourselves up. That week could be huge. I mean, we could potentially score tons and tons of points that week. It's just that some of our points are
and then just hope the Chiefs feast and Devonta Smith is still there.
And Devonta Smith just goes nuts.
Alrighty. So yeah, we got to go after Lawrence at this point. Based on the stack we made. But yeah, so
we would love to see, I guess for the purposes of this, we would really love to see the Ravens win, but they're not going to.
Yes, we would. But no, they're not going to. So yeah, this team, I mean, I love it, but it's going to be tough to advance out of round one. Unfortunately, where we went, Tony, Tyreek Hill went, just a couple picks after. And now, obviously, if Tua doesn't play, Hill's as good as worthless. But if Tua plays, Hill would have been the perfect type of guy. And I've had a lot of Tyreek Hill because of that. So let me just go back to this one. So I name all
are all those all the things you've entered?
Yes.
Come on. Give us a total. Give us a total.
We can look back at that.
Yeah, sure.
Now that we just got one through the books, and you saw how fast that goes. What have we been on for 10 minutes, 15 minutes? So
it was fast.
Not even. They fly. So as you can see, we can kind of now sit through, break down, chat through, and then maybe prepare for our next one. Are you down to do one more at least?
Yeah, I'll do another. That was fast.
All right,
cool. I'll do another.
So Josh Allen.
You're like that guy that you're doing rails with at a party, and you're just like, come on, you'll do one more with me, right?
That's my guy. Yeah. Come on. We'll tell you about my business idea the rest of the night. Let's do it.
Right.
But I mean, Josh Allen went 1 overall. To me, if I have the first pick, I do take Josh Allen every single time. The one thing that sucks about Josh Allen is the stacking partners aren't going to be great. Like Stephon Diggs is never going to make his way back to you. So it ultimately becomes like Josh Allen plus whatever NFC team you went.
No, but that's what I was going to say. I'm saying if you're going Josh Allen and he is a great first pick, then you're trying to go all in on your next on your NFC team.
Right.
And if you like the Niners, I mean, obviously you're not going to get CMC, but there are plenty of Niners that you could pick up to complement that.
And that's what I wanted to look at. That's what makes McCaffrey such an intriguing pick. So Josh Allen, you see what this guy did. And honestly, it's kind of sketch because he went Cowboys and then Bucks. So I guess he's guaranteeing himself more people in the next round because someone's going to have to win there. But you're immediately taking off, Pollard and Lamb, boom. 2 of your guys are gone. Or Godwin and Evans, boom, are gone. So in terms of longevity, I don't know if Jay Miller will have a ton there. He did stack up, but he did stack
up Buffalo big time.
Knox, McKenzie, some of the less appealing guys. He got in there late. If you get Allen early, you do kind of hope Gabe Davis, and I know it's tough to ever swallow him again, but you kind of hope he falls to you in this range. This guy wisely stacked up Diggs and Davis. I find myself doing that a lot. I have a lot of these Hurts, Bill
Playoff
starts.
Gabe Davis is nothing to thumb your nose at.
I mean, 50 points last year. He's the reason I advanced in a ton of these. But moving to the second team, and this is what I love about McCaffrey is McCaffrey, Debo, Kittle, Ayuk, all playing in round one, all 20-plus point guys. Brock Purdy, cheap enough. So you get Purdy. All of these guys. And yeah, so that's just a complete onslaught.
That guy is killing it.
Yes. The only thing I may have considered is maybe T. Higgins or Joe Mixon, getting an AFC bid in here. You're not probably going to get Kittle on the way back, but you probably, Ayuk would have still been there. So to get a little bit of juice, because what if they just lay a complete stinker and they beat the Seahawks, but it's like a 14-10 divisional shit fest? Then this team's not going anywhere. I don't think that's what happens. I love what they did. I'm just trying to, poke any type of holes in these teams. Show 5 straight Niners. And that's, again, alluding to that tip. You got to stack these teams and have the team that goes all the way. The Niners go all the way and this team can make it with them. They've got a wagon of players in their final. It's like what we did with the Chiefs. Just they don't have to deal with the bye week woes.
Right. I mean, we like the Niners just as much as the Chiefs just about, right? I mean,
yes.
So this, we need to think about that going into our next one. And I love that draft.
And then you look at they went all in on the Ravens. So they did strictly 2 teams. Mark Andrews, Lamar Jackson, Dobbins, Robinson, and Likely. They went truly only 2 teams, but 2 teams that are live the entire way. If that ends up being the Super Bowl, Do Your Research has a really good shot at winning $200K because they'll have 10 players active in the Super Bowl. I don't expect it, but you never know.
No, the Ravens are almost certainly going to go out in the first round, but
if they did,
but he will probably get the points to advance. And then, in theory, he has San Francisco going the rest of the way, and he's got every position covered.
And if they don't, what if they do upset the Bengals? The Ravens are always a tough out. What if Lamar returns to MVP Lamar for just a 3-week crazy span? That could happen. Nobody thought the Giants back when they beat the Patriots that year, they were a 7 seed. That's the type of stuff that if you go all in on the right 7 seed on these things that nobody else is what if the Seahawks beat the 49ers? Obviously not going to happen, but then you have DK, Lockett, Geno. What if they went on a run? That's not going to happen, but those are the type of moves that separate you from everybody.
I just think the Bengals are too good.
Yes. This team did a lot of Bengals Chargers action, which I don't hate at all. Given that if the Chargers win, they're going to be facing the Chiefs. If this ended up being the AFC Championship, that's what I like. It's very nice to have an AFC NFC team for your Super Bowl, but you got to get there. And if you just stack some of my best teams last year were Chiefs and Bengals, because ultimately I got 3 games out of both of them, and they ultimately got me to where I needed to. I just didn't have a great firepower by the end of it because they didn't have enough Bengals at the end. But you can see here, Bengals, they stacked up Bengals and Chargers. And I like the Chargers because what if you get 4 games out of Eckler, Keenan Allen, maybe Mike Williams is healthy, maybe not, who knows, with a couple little toss-in running backs here with Mitchell, Fournette, Hurst, solid team. So everybody here drafted pretty reasonably.
Except us.
In terms of it's sticking. I like our squad. We got all Chiefs. We drafted reasonably. We have a ton of Chiefs.
We got to get through the first week. So we need Jags big time. And I don't feel great about that. But that game could shoot out. And what if Lawrence we've seen Lawrence have 35-point days this year. So if that happens and him, Kirk, ETN go bananas, Barkley has a huge day, then we're good. Yeah, I forgot we have Barkley too. We got Devontae. We got a good team, man.
I think Tyreek Hill here would have, a 1-week rental. That would have been a nice bridge though, to have Tyreek and Kirk able to combine. Do we might not even have a third receiver. No, because Devontae's not by. This team's probably drawing dead unless Barkley had a 50-point day and these guys went nuts. We only have 1 receiver playing the first week. So, folks, good lesson on how not to drafting a dead team by the end of it. So, as sexy as the Chiefs are and as intriguing as it is, already in round 1, you're gonna have a tough time getting through. So that's why we go back to the lobby.
Right. So what you do when you do that is you just run that shit back.
Yes. But that kind of encapsulates a lot of the tips we were trying to show. Is you saw a lot of teams stacked. You got to keep first round in mind, and just kind of go from there. So this will be another one that we got that one out of the system. Truth. Tyreek Hill would have been the play over Tony.
We're the first pick, by the way.
Josh Allen, we got to do it, right? Or Christian McCaffrey.
We're taking Josh Allen.
Okay. Yeah, I agree. You could sell me on McCaffrey.
Okay.
In one of those stacks.
Look, if you go McCaffrey, it will change our draft, but I won't fight you on it. I love the Niners.
I feel like when you're blessed with the pick, though, you got to just bank on maybe you get Josh Allen going all 4 games. That's 25 points a week.
Okay,
he sets you up so nice. And maybe we hope what if Debo and Kittle are sitting there, the next round, and we just go Josh Allen.
I'd love to go Niners and Bills. Are you kidding me?
A Niners-Bills team, that could be sexy. So
it could be sexy. That is sexy.
Yes. So here we go.
All right, let's do it.
So we'll kick it off with Josh Allen. We'll see how we go. It does look like, and we didn't even do the usual thumbs up if you're here with us. If you're enjoying the show at this point, and whether you're live with us catching the replay, that thumbs up button is so greatly appreciated, Wolfpack. We do have our guy in the house, obviously, David Campanelli, commenting in. So in between, after this draft, we'll make sure to hit Campanelli any questions he has. Playoffs. You're talking about playoffs? I love it. One of the best quotes of all time.
Are we drafting Allen? We're going.
Oh yeah, we are drafting Allen. Sorry, now I feel like an asshole making the draft.
I know you're that guy.
So we could say hi to David Campanelli.
Hello,
Campanelli. Thank you for tuning in.
So that he went Mahomes number 2. So he's going to be. I'd be interested to see how he drafts, given what we did last time.
Yeah,
be interested to see what his strategy is.
I hate the NFL saying like I have a feeling. I had the same feeling. That's why I went Kadarius there. I think he's definitely going to explode. The only issue I had with that pick was it left us with one receiver for week 1. We have Juju, we have Kadarius, we had so many Chiefs, and Devonta was our next one. So like we would have needed to maybe have gone Jefferson instead of Devonta or something of that nature. Not all these bye weeks. That's the one issue there. Because I love that team, other than the fact that it's drawing dead round 1.
Yeah, I love that team, except that we're going to lose in the first round.
Exactly.
Other than that, it's incredible.
Other than that, it's a real wagon.
All right, is Burrow at the top of the list right now? Have you scrolled?
Yeah,
all the
so
way
that's
up?
Burrow here. So I can pull up this view. Allen, Mahomes, McCaffrey, Hurts. That's a typical start. Chase, Burrow's going to go here with Chase. I'm guessing if this guy, Batch 9, knows what he's doing.
Batch 9 knows it. He does.
Diggs, Jefferson.
Interested to see. I'm paying attention to how the Chiefs and the Eagles team draft. So he's stacking Hurts with Brown.
Which I think you definitely do. The issue though,
is he's going Debo McCaffrey right there.
Yep. Only one team will advance. Like we already have to beat a Stephon Diggs, Justin Jefferson wide receiver team. That's not going to be easy to do. So Papillon is setting themselves up quite well. So like, do we follow CeeDee Lamb, Tony Pollard? Do we which route do we take? Do we go CeeDee Lamb, Devonta? So we get like one usable receiver, the guy we actually thinks makes it to the Super Bowl. Something like that.
Yeah, probably.
T and CD and get 2 usable guys. I'm going to draft CD.
Gabe's not going to get back to us.
He might get back to us on the way back. I've seen that happen. The Diggs draft will probably take him. What do you think between T, Eckler? I mean, we could go after that Bills Chargers. I like that team. Pollard maybe makes it. I say Devonta.
Yeah, okay. I mean, I think Devontae's great. I mean,
yeah. That sets us up for a potential Super Bowl guy. Because, I mean, T would have been nice because at that point, AFC championship.
But the Bills are going to play the Bengals in the semifinals of the AFC.
Yes, that's true because the highest seed will match. Yeah, so Bills-Bengals would not make much sense given that the highest seed, will face – as long as they both advance, they're facing each other next round. The same issue we ran with the Jags versus the Chiefs in the last one. That makes sense. Whereas that's why the Chargers Bills might have made some sense because they won't be.
Bills could make some sense. Eckler's gonna be off the board before we get there.
You'd think so, but these things get crazy.
Ayuk is interesting.
I know, but we've already started with. We almost have to commit. Pollard went, unfortunately. So maybe we don't have to commit to maybe the Cowboys are our 1 week rental, and then we kind of go from there. I can see CD. There goes Eckler. Yeah, I mean maybe it's Ayuk. Do we go after this team's gonna be tough to coordinate? I do like getting Singletary because it's our running back to go with Josh Allen.
We don't have a back yet, do we?
No, we don't.
All right, take him.
What about Singletary Sanders? I mean, we have Eagles and we have Bills.
Let's go.
Or do you want to sneak in?
I would go Ayuk. I would go Ayuk Singletary.
All righty. Yeah, we're going to be all over the place on this one. So this will not be our most
but this team already has a much better chance of getting out of the first round than our last one did.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. But we got to start to center around something. So that way
we have two Bills, and that's the only thing that we've leaned into at all.
Right. So we've left ourselves open, which is like I kind of like considering the Buccaneers from there, and they make a run. What are your thoughts on the Bucs this year?
I think that they suck, and I could still see them winning a game or two in the playoffs.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't trust Dallas at all.
I don't either.
I mean,
I think the Bucks will definitely beat Dallas. They own the Cowboys. The Cowboys are just crumbling into the playoffs right now too. It's just a matter of like, does Brady have it in him to run the NFC? I mean, he might.
I mean, no, he doesn't. Mike McCarthy's such a lousy coach.
I don't think anybody's that intimidating in the NFC.
I think the Niners are real good, man.
So this guy's got
the Niners have won 10 games in a row. You don't believe in the Niners?
No, I think the Niners are very good. Yes, I absolutely believe in the Niners.
Yeah.
Let's see here.
How much pleasure did you take in watching Aaron Rodgers fall on his face in that game against the Lions?
So much pleasure.
So bad.
It was amazing. So we got another one of the classic. The other thing too, though, is like these 49 teams are great, but a lot of the people, because it's such a nice team to stack, are going to have the same type of rosters.
Right. No, I mean, look, our eclectic team here is intriguing to me. We're on the clock here.
I know. Let's see here. I mean, we do. Maybe this is where
you could go Godwin Evans right now.
I think we do.
It's kind of sexy.
I like the Bucks to make a run.
If you like the Bucks to make a run, then we might have just won this league.
And I don't even think we need to draft Brady because we're kind of banking on Allen. So we're hoping a couple Bills come with us. So now is where we might want to look at the Knox. I think Knox already went. Yeah, I mean, this is the tough part about the Bills is they get drafted. I'm guessing it's the Diggs team. Did he probably went Gabe Davis? Yep, Dawson Knox right there. So
what positions do we need right now? We need running backs. We need running backs.
Yes, we do.
Okay, so I think we focus on that. What's our tight end situation?
Tight end doesn't matter. It's
a
wide
flex.
receiver tight end.
It's flex, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
So wide receiver tight end. So it doesn't really matter there.
Okay. So let's look at running backs. Lenny, huh?
I like Lenny and I like Eli Mitchell because that's another bank on the 49ers.
Well, let's pick it. Like I would go Eli. Well, we could take them both. Shit.
Yeah. Right. I mean,
let's take them both
because we don't.
Tyreek because I like Eli more than Lenny. Oh, Eli just left.
Shit. And there he goes.
I like him more than Lenny because I think has potential to be around longer.
Yeah, but he's already gone.
Okay, so Lenny and P. Ryan, Gainwell. Nah,
we don't need to force another one because it's only one running back that starts on your team. So we'll definitely sneak in Lenny here.
Okay, take Lenny and then let's go. Just massive upside for somebody.
I mean, we do have some now that we've gone so into the Bucks, though, it's tough to lean into like Schultz or Gallup.
I was gonna say.
I mean, what about like DK Metcalf or like Kenneth Walker?
I was gonna say DK or Mike Williams if he was healthy.
We could sneak in Gainwell. We have a couple Eagles and just
let's go DK. Come on, DK is way sexier than Gainwell.
I know it's sexier, but
you went Gainwell.
We don't need – so we already have CD, IU, Godwin, Evans going in week 1. Could
DK but it's best ball, them? Right? It's best ball, right?
Yes. Yeah. We don't – this roster didn't need people like for round 1 support. We know DK is going to be gone, especially because we drafted Ayuk. So like,
DK is 1 week, and I guess Gainwell at least is going to have a pulse longer than that.
Like, right, exactly. Because like, what if it ends up being an Eagles – and Bills Super Bowl? Well, then at least we have Allen, Gainwell, Singletary, Devonta. Is it sexy? No. Is that going to win the whole thing? Probably not. But that could bump us up into the, winning $1,000 range type of thing to have another player going. Whereas, yes, we have to make it out of round 1, but we're already loaded with like DK would have made a lot more sense on last draft's team.
No, you're right. You're right. You're right. So, I mean, look, it's reflexively DK, even though he's diminished in some ways. He's just got all this sex appeal. Kenneth Gainwell does not, and so reflexively, of course, I'm going to lean that way. But you're correct.
So we're kind of wrapping up here. I just want to shout out some of my favorite like late picks. Gainwell is one of them, especially if I've got some Eagles on my team. He's already playing near even snaps towards the end of the year as Miles Sanders, who seems to be getting hurt. Doesn't seem fully himself after a great season. Maybe Gainwell gets a little juicier down the run. I do love Eli Mitchell, as we were talking about. young man over here took him. He's rounded out his 49ers team. Well done. I also do like Dobbins. I know they're probably not going to advance, but Dobbins, he had the most yards in the league since he returned from that injury, highest yards per carry as well, at least going into week 17. And then he missed the week, so probably not anymore. But he's looked really, really solid. That's a guy I expect to really rebound next year. So it's like late round guys. I do think this Raiders like stack is a pretty intriguing one. So we have our last pick here. Man,
I might be 10. Go ahead.
What do you think? Maybe we do DK now.
I was DK. I mean, there's. Yeah, I'd probably do DK.
DK or Waddle. Who has the better week? I'd say DK.
DK. I mean, look at the. Yeah, I mean, shit. Yeah, DK.
Yeah. So there we go. After all that talk about not going DK, there he is.
I think it's a second. Well, but I mean that made your point. I mean, the fact that we got him anyway. Obviously,
right.
You were correct.
So that could be, he has a huge week and pushes us on. All the better. Yeah. Thanks for your service. Do you have to get out of here, Truth, or you want to squeeze one more in?
I got to take off. That was fun though,
isn't it? It's fast. It's fun. It's addicting.
Baked next time though.
What'd you say?
Baked best ball next time.
Yeah, next time we got to be baked for it. If that would have been a lot to handle baked right there.
Yeah. I mean, that was a lot. It was a lot not baked.
Yes. But yeah, so Campanelli just saying, what's the best strategy used when drafting? Go QB or best running back receiver available. So I always like getting my anchor QB if possible. One of Allen, Mahomes, Hurts, or Burrow in the first 2 rounds. If I can get one of those 4, I always want to. If not, McCaffrey, as we talked about, makes a great start to stack up the Niners. You really are just trying to set up your best stacks. And it is tricky to do with bye week teams. In the last couple of years, we've seen the winner of it have the teams that did not have bye weeks going. So it's nice to have somebody alive for potentially 4 weeks. So 0 RB, you can't go completely 0 running back, David, just because you have to start one.
Gotta have one.
And that's why I love starting with Saquon in that like round 3-4 range, because great matchup against the Vikings. Very good upset potential there too.
Chance to advance, definitely.
So definitely a chance to advance. You get 2 games out of him, all the better. But especially if he's a bridge to, Jerick McKinnon or something of that nature like we did in our first draft. Man, I wish if we had just taken Tyreek Hill instead of Kadarius Toney. That first team was very live. I regret that. We need Christian Kirk and Trevor Lawrence to have themselves a day. But the best strategy to use when drafting is, again, just stack some more. Avoid opponents of the anchors you've drafted for your team, while also balancing all that to then make sure you can also advance. So it is a really tricky act of balancing those things. And as Tam says, truth is alive. Holy shit. needs to be exactly. Isn't it great to see? It's been a while. Bring Campanelli in for one. Is Campanelli saying wants to come in? What's he saying?
I don't know. I said I couldn't do it, and Tunes wants more. So, I mean.
He's so bored in the offseason and no streams to drive to from work.
Bring someone in off the bench.
Come on in from the bench. I mean, I'll do one more once you're gone, Truth, at least. So you guys,
I know you will.
I know you will. I'm going to be doing them anyways, right? So I'll do one more once you're gone. Has Truth's son picked his wrestling? Forget Underdog. Those are the big questions. Has he picked his entrance song, Truth?
So my son's been he's been a little bit sick, so he's missed a few wrestling classes in a row. So he's not blossomed into the town. My son has many great qualities. He's not a very good wrestler yet. So I don't think he has maybe like the Sanford and Son theme. Something like that.
Nice. Yeah. I'm glad it's not Triple H the game like you used to do at
Oh God, I love that. That gets me so pumped up. I get such dopamine hits off the Triple H entrance.
Yes,
oh, man.
100%.
So good. But I'll tell you one thing going on. My son's wrestling. I'm the coach of my son's 7-year-old basketball team, and so I've done these before. I was the coach of his first grade basketball team also when he was 6. And you go into these drafts and, you got clipboards with all the kids' names on them and, like 2 kids on the list and you don't know. And so you're just picking blind completely.
Yeah.
That's what everybody does. They know like their kid and a couple of their kids' friends. And so I'm a substitute teacher at his school now. So I know all the kids. Yeah. And so I just went into this draft with so much more information than anybody else in it. And I just
in your middle school drafts, a true junkie.
They're not middle school. These kids are 7. They're 7-year-olds.
I forgot Sarita's the one in middle school.
Right. No, these are second graders. But I sub at that elementary school. So I just have these 4 just my son is very tall, and he's like probably the fourth tallest kid on my team. Like I just have this massive front line, and then we won our first game really big. Let's just say.
I love it. no, ease up on anybody there.
Toon said Stone Cold glass shattering chills. I agree with that also.
Yes, always a great one. Alrighty, well, Truth, I'm going to probably fire up one more for the people. Right, I know you got to get out of here, but I'll do one more quick one. They only take about 15 minutes, so I'll hit a quick mitten for them. But okay. Cheers, Truth. Good draft, and maybe we'll hit a baked one later in the week.
I'd like that. See you guys later.
Indeed. Cheers. Great seeing you. All right, let me pull this on back in. We'll fire up one last one for you just because Tunes needs it. We'll do the mitten, a quick $5 one, just to see if there's any differences to these ones. But the mitten, so they have a prize pool. I think it's $35,000 for first. $5 bid, not a bad lottery ticket to buy, folks. So we got the third pick here. Maybe we will test that. We'll see what falls to us, but we have not done a 49er stack on the draft yet, and I'd love to show that off. So why don't we consider doing that? McCaffrey's there. We're going to take him. If he goes ahead, that means that we got Mahomes, and we can try to redeem and draft our live Chiefs team this time and not have one where we draft too many Chiefs and left ourselves dead in the first round. But let me know. We'll pack if you have any questions at the time. We got 30 seconds before the draft starts. So I agree. The Stone Cold glass is great. I mean, the Rock, you smell like that. You hear that and the crowd erupts. The gong of Undertaker. That would the true son will walk out to the Undertaker. 10-minute entrance to a second grade wrestling meet would be great. Ah, man. I'm excited for some playoffs, though. So while this is loading, just again, that quick reminder, you want to stack. You want to keep those rankings fluid as you get your anchors, bump up the players on that team, bump down their opponents, and you still got to make sure you advance in these. But check it out. Wolfpack code RSJ if you download the app or the link in the description. You get up to $100 match. If you have not played on Underdog, I could not recommend it any higher. They are a great partner. We love it. We love playing on this platform, clearly. So do us a favor. Check it out if you haven't. McCaffrey goes 1. So there goes checking that one out for this draft. And Josh Allen's not going to fall to 3. So we're back with our Chiefs stack. Let's do it. I'm going to try to make one that's actually live this time. That might mean Chiefs Chargers here. So yeah, they'd be opponents in the next round, but you got to get to that next round. I do like maybe a Chiefs Vikings stack, but I also am considering Debo, Chiefs. I know this guy, G-Rod, is likely to go Kittle at least. So I don't mind trying to sneak in maybe Debo here. A Chiefs Niners Super Bowl is what I'm predicting. Maybe we go after that. Or maybe Kelsey falls to me and I have no choice. We will see, Wolfpack. The options end up being. All right, so then we go McCaffrey, Allen, Mahomes, Hurts, typical first 4. Diggs at 5 is where I have him, where he belongs. It's interesting to see how those teams end up getting constructed. What's the stack going to be? I do like the Diggs, Jefferson, go with Kirk and just hope that Vikings, they were the 2 seed for the entire year. Maybe they aren't quite as fraudulent as everybody's talking about them. I think they are, but hey, then you got your Bengals here. You'll see a lot of these similar constructed teams. So you also have to figure out, how am I going to be different? So Kelsey is gone. A.J. Brown's gone. I'm going to go after that Chiefs Niners stack we're talking about. I'm guessing there won't be any Kittle, but he'd be the next man up for me. Do you like getting my guy Jarek? He's probably going to be the target in the next round just because I could see the Diggs Kelsey team going after McKinnon. You see Josh Allen, Devonta, again, a classic. I love the Bills going after the Bills-Eagles stacks. I think that's a great one. McCaffrey, Jefferson, and my guess is Kittle will be up next. But that is a tough first round to beat right there. So I need like the Tyreeks, the Saquons to balance out a Chiefs or a Jalen Hurts. When you got that bye week, you got to make sure you get through it. That bridge. Oh, he goes Eckler. Maybe we'll get Kittle then. We will. Love it. So we've got a live Niners Chiefs draft ripping here. I only hope McKinnon can make his way back to us. We will see. See what Z Milner does. I'm guessing he's going to go McKinnon, though. The Chiefs Bengals would be an interesting stack, too, just because, again, if they meet, it's going to be in the championship. So you get multiple games out of them all. Yeah, there goes Jerick McKinnon as expected. So this guy's going to get all the Bengals. Higgins, Chase, Mixon. Whew. So what I'm looking at is probably Pollard because I'm going to need a running back. But Saquon also accomplishes that idea of like maybe you get 2 games, then I can always go after my favorite Brady. And so I'm going to definitely go after Ayuk here to keep that Niners stack alive. There goes Pollard anyways to Milner. Stealing all my guys. All righty. So we've got I love this. Mahomes, Debo, Kittle, Ayuk. Whew. So from here, I am probably hoping for Saquon. I don't think Juju will make it back to me on the way back, but I don't know that I'm hating. He had that good run. So let's see the teams again. I still think I can go more so after like Tony and some of these other Chiefs pieces later. I really like how this one panned out. I'm surprised James Cook over Singletary. Interesting move. I'm going to go up to Saquon. He's been one of my most drafted players. Just because, again, I think the Giants, either way, he's a nice bridge to whatever I end up building at running back. But I think the Giants are live for an upset. So a great way to help advance in round 1. Definitely target Eli Mitchell a little bit later here. Lenny Fournette. Maybe I go back to my Buck stacks. My Godwin Evans. If Singletary keeps falling, though, that's like we're talking about the AFC Championship. Like I could get Singletary for multiple rounds. So that's not a bad option here. He had a huge playoff run last year. There goes Juju. So Dak, Pollard, get a little Cowboys action there. AFC, so probably some late Cowboys coming here for Z Milner. Not a bad start. Still get a team to stack with some heavy firepower around it from the AFC side. I like that. Then you got to get the Bengals special here. Bengals Ravens, though, it's going to be a tough one to come out of if that's the only offense you're really going all in on. I was hoping for Godwin. So now it becomes a little tricky. So I like this stack, but like nobody would be shocked if Evans has another monster. I can always accomplish that though. Yeah, I'm gonna get some Bucks. I like my Bucks this year. Get some Lenny. I'm just surprised to see Singletary continuing to plummet here. Oh, he snipes Lenny from me. Damn. Alrighty, so I don't like that. I am going to go Devin, though. Team that I think is going to be playing 3 to 4 games. Maybe he gets hot, trusted most. I mean, that's a big fall for him. So that gives me a running back for a lot of rounds. And I can queue up Pacheco to keep going with my Chiefs. We'll have 3 more picks. So I'll need a quarterback to back up Mahomes. Maybe Danny Jones in the last round. Could be Brady and Evans stacked up as well. Could go like Richie James, Daniel Jones, stack up my Giants and hope for a little run, perhaps. There goes Tony. Yeah, Pacheco made it to me. I was going to go him, but he does not fall. So I'm going to lock up Eli. So I have my live Niners Chiefs Super Bowl here. Tell you, Nicole Hardman was playing really, really well. Just got activated. Was inactive with a bye. I think he'll be good to go. So I might sneak him in as like a last rounder. So I at least have some sort of stack with Mahomes too. But it's tough. I just MVS does nothing. But I like what I've done here because usually you see these teams, like the live Niners teams, kind of Purdy at the helm. So if I can advance and have some Chiefs. All righty. We got 2 more here. If I knew Mike was good, I'd probably go him here, but I think Tyreek's gone. I think this is where I'm going to go McCole. Not a lot of people drafted him. Get me a potential weapon that just goes off in the Super Bowl type of thing if I get there. And now I just got to take Danny J. Stack it with my Saquon. Hope I get a few games out of the Giants. Ride those RBs. This ain't a bad team. Pretty decent correlation. Those my Chiefs as I would have liked. Seeing opportunities I missed here. I went Barkley over Juju, but I needed a running back. So, I mean, I don't hate that. Evans. Maybe I go Tony there next time. Or Tony over Singletary because I didn't need that running back play. But, I mean, I was really hoping for Lenny. Yeah, I think I'm going to go Daniel Jones. A lot of people drafting him, and I can see him blowing up against the Vikings. Like, no, if everybody had this option, Lamar or Lawrence, but like I can see Lamar just sucking or not even playing. So give me Danny. And let's see what he does. Get a little different here. All righty. Well, that wraps that one up. So we went Mahomes, Debo, Kittle, Ayuk. So a Chiefs Niners with then some help me advance pieces in Barkley, Singletary, maybe multiple games out of running back. Maybe he catches the heat from last year. Maybe Evans pushes me over the edge for a week. I was hoping to go some more Chargers. Bucks there, but hey, what can you do? All righty, Wolfpack. Well, that wraps up that draft. We'll call it quits from there. Let's see what we got in terms of questions for him. So Tunes was saying, grab Lamar. Yeah, what if he doesn't play? And what if the Bengals just shut him out after he hasn't played for a while? I think Daniel Jones, if I had to pick one quarterback for this week, I like Danny J. Plus, I already had Saquon. So if he keeps going, he keeps going. Brady, Mitchell, McKenzie. All good options there. Yeah, I want Mitchell, though. Singletary. Yeah, we should do one together, David. No doubt about it. Indeed. I keep forgetting to put the call in. I know you call in, we can chat. It'd be awesome. But I'm signing off, Wolfpack. Thank you again so much for those who tuned in live, or maybe you caught the replay of these 3 live underdog drafts on your way out. If you hadn't already, please do hit that thumbs up button. The Wolf of Fantasy Sheep, guys. Be the Wolf, and of course, use code RSJ or the link in the description. If you haven't already checked out Underdog, it is such a fun way to play. Support your boys. Continues to show the power of the pack. Alrighty, Wolfpack. See you guys.